Good afternoon, everybody. Big Mike back here with you once again. Welcome back to Big Mike Talks, where today, it's a wonderful day because it's WrestleMania week, baby. I am so excited. Now, today I will be making my predictions for the 3 shows that I will be checking out this week. Yes, I know there's a ton of other shows, but I'm going to focus on 3 in particular. Starting with New Japan, Impact Wrestling, Multiverse United. I forget what the tagline is, but it's a tongue twister. Basically, it is a Impact New Japan joint show a la Forbidden Door from AEW and New Japan last year. So, first pre-show match, we got a very interesting one as Yuya Umaira, who has been on excursion with Impact lately and has been doing a very good job, taking on Gabriel Kidd. Now, if you don't remember Gabriel Kidd, he was a WCPW stalwart, that's where I remember him from. And he started training in the New Japan Dojo. I'm not 100% sure if he graduated or just left, but it does seem like he has a spot on this card. So, however, for this win, I'm going for Yuya Umaira. Now, first match on the main card, it was supposed to be Mike Bailey versus Will Ospreay, but sadly, Will Ospreay came down with an injury. Get well soon, Ospreay. Instead, we have Mike Bailey versus the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, Hiroshi Tanahashi, the New Japan Ace. And honestly, I'm very excited for this one. Yes, it's a little last-minute replacement match, but these two are going to make beautiful music together. And I am going with I'm going to go with Mike Bailey on this one. Bailey has been on a roll lately, and I think that continues here. Maybe we see him in New Japan in the future. New Japan, he's right there. Next up, the definition of a hoss fight as Jeff Cobb takes on Moose. 2 big meaty men slapping meat. I am all for it. And I think Jeff Cobb is going to get the win here. I do know he has a match later tonight against Kenny Omega for the IWGP United States title, which is going to bang. I think he's going to lose that here and then win this match here. Next up, a 6-way match in which I thought it was Ultimate X. Maybe it was supposed to be, but now it's just a scramble match, which I guess it's first fall to a finish, for the X Division Championship as Trey Miguel, who had a successful defense at Sacrifice against Lince Dorado, takes on Clark Connors, recent graduate of the New Japan Dojo. Frankie Kazarian, who has come over from AEW, now full-time Impact, which, that's insane. Kevin Knight, another recent New Japan Dojo graduate, and he's got some drop kicks, man. Like, keep your eye out for this kid. He's awesome. Rich Swann, former X Division champion, former world champion. So we'll see where that goes. And a bit of an odd one out. Someone I did not see coming here. Rocky Romero, formerly one half of Roppongi Vice, and multiple-time tag team champion. So that should be a fun one. Speaking of title matches, we have the Strong Openweight Championship on the line as Kenta takes on Minoru Suzuki. And in the X Division title match, I think Trey Miguel retains. That's sorry that slipped my mind, but we got a lot to get through. So Kenta Minoru Suzuki for the Openweight Championship. Kenta just won this title a little bit ago from Fred Rosser. We'll talk about him in a little bit. Suzuki has kind of been on a roll lately. He's 1/3 of the 6-man tag team champions. But I think Kenta puts him away. Next up, we got a Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Match player. As the champions Bullet Club, Ace and Bay. Too sweet, baby. Take on Aussie Open, Kyle Fletcher and Mark Davis. One of the most entertaining modern tag teams you'll see. The Motor City Machine Guns, who I still can't believe they came back. That's awesome. And TMDK, that's Bad Dude Tito and Shane Haste. They failed to capture the Impact Tag Team titles at Sacrifice from the Bullet Club. So I believe we're going to still see Ace and Bay as the champions. Like I said, again, they just won these titles. There's no reason to, hot potato them. Unless Aussie Open's going to win them, because I wouldn't mind that. But yeah, I'm going for Bullet Club for life. Next up, an 8-man tag team match player. As we got Alex Coughlin. I don't know if he graduated yet from the New Japan Dojo. I know he came back from injury kind of recently. So that should be interesting. Callahan of The Design, or a recruit of The Design. We'll see what happens there. Fred Rosser, former Never Openweight champion. And also former Darren Young in WWE, if you remember them. And they will be teaming up with Perfect Creation 1, a.k.a. PCO, a.k.a. Pierre Car Ouellette of the Quebecers tag team, I believe. That's a heck of an all-star team. Although Callahan doesn't really fit in, but we'll see how that goes. And they will be taking on Eddie Edwards, the digital media champion Joe Hendry, which that's an interesting pairing, as they will team with Team Filthy members Filthy Tom Lawler and JR Kratos. That's a heck of a team. PCO versus Kratos? Give it to me right now. I don't know who to pick out of these guys. 1, 2, 3, shoot. 1, 2, 3, shoot. I'm going to go with Filthy Tom Lawler, Joe Hendry, and Eddie Edwards. I feel like Eddie has been needing a win lately, and I think it'll further his feud with PCO. Now, this next match is a bit of a last-minute change. It was supposed to be for the Knockouts title, but Mickie James injured her ribs, and now she is off this show. And we'll see what happens at Rebellion. So instead, we have a Fatal 4-Way match in which the winner gets into a Knockouts title match with either just Jordynne Grace or Jordynne Grace, and if she's healthy enough, Mickie James. So, participants, we got Deonna Purrazzo, Giselle Shaw, Masha Slamovich, and making her Impact debut, Stardom's own Miyu Yamashita. I do hope I am pronouncing that right. This is kind of an tough choice, but I'm going to go with a little bit of the outsider, especially if she's going to hang around for a little bit. I'm going with Yamashita, because why not? It's going to be fun. And this last match, another fill-in match, and came kind of late the other day. We have Kushida, who was originally supposed to challenge Josh Alexander for the world title. But again, he's hurt. He had his surgery, and he is going to be out for whatever length of time. Please get well soon, Josh. As he takes on Leo Rush, who has been kind of bouncing around the independents a little bit. I think he just made his return to MLW. So this match should be absolutely awesome. Very high flying. I think Kushida's going to get the win here. And then Macklin is going to jump Kushida, because they're going to be feuding for the world title at Rebellion. So I think that all fits. It's going to be a lot of fun, that one. Next up, we have Ring of Honor, Supercard of Honor. This is going to be on Friday at 7. Impact New Japan Multiverse is going to be Thursday at 11. So, if you want to watch that's the time it'll be on. And we got some interesting matches to go around. Kicking us off will be the Reach for the Sky ladder match for the now vacant Ring of Honor Tag Team titles. Now, these titles were held by the Briscoe brothers formerly, but sadly, Jay is no longer with us. Rest in peace. So Mark handed these belts over and told Tony Khan, hey, let's have this match. So participants, we have the Lucha Brothers, former AEW Tag Team Champions, former Trios Champions with Pac, and, some of the greatest luchadors maybe of the modern age. Top Flight, Dante and Darius Martin finally getting a shot at some titles. Although they have gotten Trios titles shot recently with AR Fox. But, I'm glad they're be given this big of a stage. The Kingdom, Matt Taven and Mike Bennett, former Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions. Aussie Open, former IWGP Tag Team Champions and Strong Openweight Champions. And then La Faction I'm just going to call them LFI. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. That is Rush and Dralistico. Rush, former Ring of Honor champion in his own right. Dralistico is a former AAA Tag Team champion until his brother Dragon Lee left AAA to sign with WWE. He's going to be on NXT this Saturday. So, that should be fun. My winners. That's going to be an interesting one, because there's a lot of great talent here. And honestly, I'm going to call my shot. I'm going for Top Flight. They deserve a bit more of a spotlight and to hold some gold. Next up, we have the 6-man tag team titles on the line as the Embassy, that's Brian Cage, Khan, and Toa Leoa, defend against AR Fox, Blake Christian, and Metalik, the former Grand Metalik from WWE. This one is kind of interesting because I believe Brian Cage's contract is coming up pretty soon, and he has hinted at maybe going to the WWE. So, this might be his last match under the Ring of Honor AEW banner. If that's the case, I'm going to go with AR Fox, Blake Christian, and Metalik getting the win. And now we have the Ring of Honor television title on the line, as we have Samoa Joe defending against Mark Briscoe. Briscoe has pretty much brought up, it's my destiny to win this title. It's the one title I haven't held in a Ring of Honor. And Joe has been pretty dominant with this title, except for that one weird loss to Darby Allin. That was weird. Anyway, this is a tough one for me to call. I like both these guys. They're both terrific talent. I think Samoa Joe retains. I don't think there's any reason to take the belt off Samoa Joe just yet. Although I wouldn't mind Mark Briscoe having a run with the TV title for a little bit. Next up, for the Ring of Honor Women's title, we have Athena, the former Ember Moon, taking on Yuka Sakazaki. So this match is going to be very interesting. Athena has been showing more strongish style wrestling. She's definitely a bit stiffer, but I think that's pretty cool. And then Yuka is more of a high-flying woman. Ooh, this is another kind of tough one to call, but I'm going to go with Athena retaining. There is zero reason Athena should lose this title. Ooh, this next one is going to be interesting, as the Ring of Honor Pure title is on the line, as Wheeler Yuta defends against Katsuhori Shibata. Now, Shibata just came back at Wrestle Kingdom, not this previous year, but the year before, after a very serious neck injury. So he's been taking some dates, like he had a match with Orange Cassidy on Rampage a few weeks ago. So this is going to be interesting. Now, for anyone who doesn't know what Pure Rules is, it's basically, a timed event. I think they get like 20 minutes, maybe a little less. And then you only get 3 rope breaks. So on the 4th one, if you're in a submission in the ropes, the rope break is ignored. Also, if you're caught with a closed fist strike, you get a warning. But then if you get caught again, you are disqualified, and if it's the champion, he can lose his title. This one is going to be very interesting. It's going to be, I think, less mat wrestling and more like strong style-ish. I think Wheeler Yuta is going for more of a legend killer vibe these days, which I'd be into. So yeah, I think I'm going to go with Wheeler Yuta. Next up, we got some AAA luchador action as the AAA Mega Championship is on the line. We have El Hijo del Vikingo defending against Commander. And with these two guys balling out on AEW recently, this match is going to be absolutely insane. However, I do not believe this is Vikingo's time to lose his title. And finally, for Ring of Honor, it's our main event for the Ring of Honor World Championship as Claudio Castagnoli defends against Eddie Kingston. Now, this match is very interesting because in AEW, Moxley pretty much told Eddie Kingston hands off of Claudio, meaning they cannot fight each other. So he went to Ring of Honor, which is technically still under the AEW banner, but is technically also a different company. So he comes to AEW and pretty much calls his shot against Claudio. Claudio doesn't accept at first, pretty much saying a man without honor cannot hold this title, which I kind of agree with him, but yeah, this feud goes back a while. So I'm definitely very interested in seeing what happens here. Ooh, this one is tough to call. As much as I don't want Claudio to win the Ring of Honor, to lose the Ring of Honor title, I think it's Eddie Kingston's time. I think he finally gets his roses, and I think he wins the Ring of Honor title. Alright, that is it for Ring of Honor. Now we go on to the 2-night spectacular. That's it. It's WrestleMania. And honestly, this is the first time in a severely long time I've been this excited for WrestleMania. Was I excited to go to 35? Absolutely. I was dead tired after, though. But since then, WrestleMania has kind of been okay. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel as big as it should be. This card right here, it feels pretty darn big. Like, it feels like it's been, at least for a lot of these feuds, it felt like it's been built up really well. And these payoffs, hopefully, will pay off in the right way. Speaking of paying off in the right way, we start off night 1, which will be on Saturday, April 1st. We have the U.S. title on the line, kicking off the weekend, as Austin Theory defends against John Cena. This one is going to be a little interesting. More than likely, this is going to be a passing of the torch moment, and I think Theory is going to retain. Although I wouldn't be mad at one more John Cena go with the U.S. belt, holding his open challenges during the weeks and having NXT star debut. But more than likely, Austin Theory's going to retain here. Next up for night one, we have Seth Rollins taking on Logan Paul. Paul has been pretty much messing with Seth Rollins since the Royal Rumble, eliminating him from the Rumble itself, costing him in the Elimination Chamber. And Seth has had enough. He wants this match, and now he's got it. And honestly, the only way this story pays off well is if Seth Rollins wins. No offense to Logan Paul. He is very talented in the ring. Personally, I'm not going to say because I have nothing nice to say about the man. But Seth Rollins should get the victory. Next up, in a weirdly underwhelming booking decision, we have Trish Stratus teaming with Lita and Becky Lynch, who hold the women's tag team titles, taking on Damage Control. That's Bayley, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky. Damage Control has been looking very weak lately. I do think we're headed for a breakup soon, but I don't think it's right now. I think Damage Control pick up the victory on Saturday. Next up, a match. A match, it's more for the casual crowd. It's Brock Lesnar versus Omos. Few big meaty men slapping meat. And let's face it, this match is going to be for Brock Lesnar suplexing and then F5ing Omos. That's pretty much what this match is going to be. And the winner, it's probably going to be Brock Lesnar. Now, next up, we have the Raw Women's title on the line as Bianca Belair takes on Asuka. This is the one another match that has been had an underwhelming build to it. Asuka won the Elimination Chamber to get this shot, but then they've kind of been chummy. Like Asuka has been saving Bianca Belair from Chelsea Green and Carmella attacks, and then finally this couple weeks ago we have Asuka turning on Bianca during after a tag match, in which finally let's get this going. I think more than likely, yeah, we've hit the year mark with Bianca. She won it at WrestleMania last year. I think it's time for Asuka to get her WrestleMania moment. I don't think she has a win at WrestleMania yet, so I think it's more than time. And then more than likely what's going to be our main event for night one is the SmackDown Women's title on the line as Charlotte Flair takes on Rhea Ripley. Again, another one with a poorly built situation in it. Rhea Ripley won the Women's Royal Rumble, and then on Raw, SmackDown, they've just been having promo, and it doesn't get me that excited for this match. Will this match bang? Absolutely. But in terms of building up a story for it, it's been lacking. Now, did they have a very interesting brawl on SmackDown a few weeks ago? Absolutely. I will give them that. However, that should not have been the final step for these two in this feud. It needs to be cooked a little bit more. Now, I'm going to say this. I think Rhea Ripley takes the SmackDown Women's title from Charlotte. Now, Rhea and Charlotte do have had a WrestleMania match before for Rhea Ripley's NXT title at 36, the WrestleMania where no one was there, which I still can't believe that happened, in which Charlotte won. So I think this is Rhea going to get her win back. Now, these matches do not currently have a night yet, but I do think we'll hear some announcements coming soon. We have a triple threat match for the Intercontinental title as Gunther defends against Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. Sheamus has had his chances and failed, and this is the one title he hasn't held in his WWE career, which is kind of nutty. And then Drew has kind of backstabbed Sheamus a little bit. They've been on friendly terms for a while now, and now Sheamus feels a little bit betrayed, and honestly, I can understand that. And I think that is going to play into this match as Gunther retains. I think Sheamus and Drew are going to do most of the brawling, and then Gunther is going to come in and powerbomb one of them. So, yeah, that should be a fun one. Next up, in Hell in a Cell, we have Edge versus the Demon, Finn Balor. And if rumors are true, we might see a former Edge teammate in his corner. Gangrel. Anyway, winner here. Well, Edge has pretty much beaten whatever form of Judgment Day 6 ways to Sunday. So I think it's time for Finn Balor and Judgment Day to win at the biggest stage. It just makes sense to me. Next up, a WrestleMania Showcase Fatal 4-Way Tag Match. So this is the one of the two, let's get them on the WrestleMania card matches. You have Liv Morgan tagging with Raquel Rodriguez. Natalya and Shotzi are teaming up. Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler are teaming, although that team does make sense. And Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville are tagging. This is more than likely to build out Rousey and Shayna to maybe go after the women's tag team titles, which might happen on night 2, honestly. Like, if this leads to that, I'd be okay with it, but considering it's not really a number 1 contenders match, it kind of, I don't know, it's the, let's get some more people on the card match. Same thing with this showcase match, but this time for the men, and we actually have a couple of tag teams in here. We have Braun Strowman and Ricochet. Have been teaming for a little bit now, but honestly, I kind of dig them as a team. We have the Street Profits, who at least one of them's going to be pushed a little bit more post-WrestleMania. Alpha Academy, who has easily the most interesting story of the 4, as Otis has been hanging out with Maximum Male Models, taking him away from Chad Gable. So, will that factor into this match? Who knows? We'll see. And finally, the Viking Raiders, Eric and Ivar, the former War Machine, who honestly, post-feud with Drew and Sheamus has been a little directionless. Am I glad they're on the WrestleMania card? Absolutely. But in this meaningless match. So, more than likely, the winners here are the Street Profits. Next up, we got a tag team match player, this time for the Tag Team Championship. The Undisputed Tag Team Championship. Both the Raw and the SmackDown tag titles are defended as one. And it's the Usos defending against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. That's right, Owens and Zayn are now on the path to take down the Bloodline. And I think for WrestleMania, this is step numero uno, as Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens dethrone the Usos to win the tag team titles. And now, don't worry, we're one match away from the main event. We got a family feud, one of the more interesting feuds for this WrestleMania, as we have Rey Mysterio taking on Dominic Mysterio. Rey Mysterio has now entered the Hall of Fame. He's going to be inducted on Friday, right after SmackDown. And he is taking on his son, Dominic, in which he's pretty much turned to the dark side after attacking him at Clash at the Castle. Man, that seems like a long time ago. And has been pretty much calling out Rey to have this match. Rey has pretty much said, no, I'm not hurting my son. Then the other week, Dom goes up to his mother and daughter, and not daughter, sister, who are in the arena for Rey in his match against LA Knight. Pretty much goes up to her and says, oh, you see what Dad did to me, or didn't do to me. Honestly, he wasn't really there. So if he's a deadbeat dad, you're a deadbeat mom. And that set Rey off. He goes down, finally hits his son, and pretty much says, yeah, I'll see you at WrestleMania. Ooh, this is going to be an interesting one. I don't know the current status of Rey in WWE right now, because usually Hall of Fame inductees are retired. So, honestly, I think either way, Dom wins. Maybe he wins by shenanigans by Damian Priest at ringside. But I do think Dom is going to win. And finally, our one match who's officially scheduled for night 2. It is for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship as Roman Reigns defends against Cody Rhodes. Now, I'm going to go through some shit, so keep up with me. So, basically, early in the night, or night 1, whatever you want to put that, the Usos lose their tag team match. Then we see them, and maybe Solo, backstage talking. During this match, we see Roman do his usual stuff. Ref bump, he calls for his crew. Bloodline come out, but instead of going right down the ramp, they just look at him and walk off. Not officially costing him his match, but still getting in his head as Cody Rhodes takes the WWE Undisputed title from Roman. That's right, we're going to have a new champion, and it's going to be an ex-AEW guy. Which, how about that? Alright, that is it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, comment, subscribe if you haven't. Let's share this around the internet. And let me know your predictions for Multiverse, for Ring of Honor Supercard, for WrestleMania. Let me know what matches you're looking forward to the most. And let me know who you're rooting for in the main event. Because I've seen some very weird stuff going on. Alright, that's it for me. Happy wrestling, everybody.